Totalmente. to keep pushing with the spike down and B main. Works a pushing with the spike down and B main open. Works a pushing with the spike down and B main open. Works a pushing with the spike down and B main open. Works a pushing with the spike down and B main open. Works a pushing with the spike down and B main open. Works a pushing with the spike down and B main open. Works a pushing with the spike down and B main open. Works a pushing with the spike down and B main open. Works a pushing with the spike down and B main open. Works a pushing with the spike down and B main open. Works a pushing with the spike down and B main open. Works a pushing with the spike down and B main open. Works a pushing with the spike down and B main open. Works a pushing with the spike down and B main open. Works a pushing with the spike down and B main open. Works a pushing with the spike down and B main open. Works a pushing with the spike down and B main open. Works a pushing with the spike down and B main open. Works a pushing with the spike down and B main open. Works a pushing with the spike down and B main open. Works a pushing with the spike down and B main open. Works a pushing with the spike down and B main open. Works a pushing with the spike down and B main open. Works a pushing with the spike down and B main open. Works a pushing with the spike down and B main open. Works a pushing with the spike down and B main open. Works a pushing with the spike down and B main open. Works a pushing with the spike down and B
Now they do fair though. Coming out of the back of this, they can they get this up to match?
And he wants to try to. Is going to get the drone out. XDL is going to get the drone out. Doesn't see a damn thing. Is going to get the drone out. Doesn't see a damn thing. Is going to get the drone out. But 10-10 doesn't see a damn thing. So far, the drone out. But 10-10 doesn't see a damn thing. So far, the drone out. Gets spotted. So see a damn thing. So far, the drone out. Gets spotted. So see a damn thing. So far, the drone out. Gets spotted. So see a damn thing. So far, the drone out. Gets spotted. So see a damn thing. So far, the drone out.
Not really going to get the opportunity to do so. Is up and over the top. Really going to get the opportunity to do so. Is up and over the top. Really going to get the opportunity to do so. Is up and over the top. Really going to get the opportunity to do so. Is up and over the top. Really going to get the opportunity to do so. Is up and over the top. Really going to get the opportunity to do so. Find your time shot. 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 Find your time shot.
Used to great effect early in their attacker's half. And Paper X does it right back to him.
Oh, there's a 3 here, boys. Okay, guys.
Yeah, still in it. Oh boy. They're trying something similar. No marshals this time, but nobody bit.
Yeah, I'm not going to be falling for that one again.
Look at this toxic screen. Depth through this late in the round.
Trying to rescale back into sight, but Paper X, I guess, kind of seeing it, say, well, we've got Patman lurked all the way through A. He's seen absolutely nothing. Let's just go there.
Yeah, this is just a little too early from Zaydan trying to spring their trap. Something's going to watch the cross, but they're actually going to go all the way around. They're going to leave just Sugar Zero behind. I mean, it's mostly classics other than 10-10. Well, you can isolate a couple of these fights. I mean, if you could have got Patman there, but they're all going to go.
Oh, Patman might find a god timing.
Yeah.
Then again, well, Sugar Zero.
Well,
but footsteps, I believe, are heard. So now he's just going to be watching for this angle, but Jing is there. Taking the kill, and now Patman swoops forward. XDL not ready. That little bit of a faster reaction. Some damage on the Forsaken, but that might just be as good as it gets, and it is. Forsaken will find two. Flawless fashion. Paper X marching forward now on a warpath as they try to run this one back. Still needing 5 rounds to tie it up.
Yeah. They still have a showstopper. Gonna go for the op, it looks like, for 10-10. Neural theft in the back pocket for clues. Good timings this time. I liked that Patman took a pause there to wait for Jing to get with him up at A-Link before he started really trying to push space. I think that's very wise. Something that's been costing Paper X in some of these rounds is trying to go for individual hero plays. You know, if one person wants to lurk around the map, of course, goes Jing.
Storming forward, looking for any kind of target. In the end, just going to be a little bit of a whip by some space here, but Clue's still saddled on the site. My eyes are down. Cam gets cleared out. Taking forward into the smoke, and Depp is just there waiting up over the top. Slowed, it's an immense amount of damage down to 16 as smoke now dissipating. Jing has to drop back. Spike now planted, 10-10 going to be noted dead. Patman able to find him there through the corner of the wall. Keeps it into a 4v4. Jing is able to cross back. Spam breaks down a wall segment. Big wraparound from Deb, trying to go on this flank with just 16 HP. It's a swing onto the corner. Something able to find one. XTL with two. Deb finds another, brings it now into a 1v1. Has the Vandal in hand, but the time is just not going to be there for him. They will go their separate ways, it would seem. Just holding onto the weapons as Paper Rex can breathe another sigh of relief. Scraping by with another round win.
It's 4 in a row, and you're going to put Zeta Division back onto an eco. Close to. Maybe not. I saw another operator being thought about. They might be trying to do a cheeky half-buy here. Might have misread the economy a bit there, but XTL, good God. Nice spray down with the Vandal.
We can go away, guys. And ulti. Yeah, careful.
Okay, there was another buy there. And Zeta's got... they got a Hunter's Fury, got an Overdrive. It's kind of one of those rounds. You should get to go. Paper X gets spotted, but there's no punish. That's just info for the side of Zeta. XTL just has to play his life. I want to see him get that Hunter's Fury engaged, get it in a good position, but he's playing so close on the side A. We're just going to try to lock this down. Sugar Zero's going to clear it.
Hitting out, Paranoia going through XTL. Untouched by that one as the wall raised, broken, Divide, dead. XTL finds another, something on the floor. Sugar Zero looks for the second, can't make it happen. Jing, however, has now fallen. And it is all on Patman, who's trying to activate a lurk. Now needs to try to fight his way forward. Tries to play ahead of the Neural, but he cannot. The run back streak broken. Zeta up to match point.
This is just a nice little bait and switch here for Zeta Division. Give Sugar Zero up on the drone. He gets Paranoia. Meanwhile, XDL is able to just play out in the open. He's so ready to clear that wall. And then his device like checking the angle again. He's like, huh? Just gets domed. And then XDL goes absolutely crazy. Nice little play.
I'm gonna ask right now, production, if they close this out, please get us the watch party view. We need to see it. I need to see the pop off. That being said, still money behind for purchase. Still an op in hand for 10-10, has an overdrive as well if he has to go for a retake. Hunter's Fury from the shadows, Rez available to the side of Paper Rex as they now need 5 in a row to take this into OT. Hunter's Fury opened up, XCL gets a tag, onto one, something able to avoid it. Does get hit again, that leaves them now at 20. Obviously, Neil can come through. He's going to immediately reply with a Hunter's Fury zone as Patman is able to find XDL. Sugar Zero avoiding that third and final pulse as Deb scaling forward, finds the timing, looks for a transfer, cannot make it happen. Patman able to find himself a third kill. Rez is there, Jing's back into the fray, slow orb out towards street, the wall now raised. A site there for the taking.
Do you dare? Do you dare as 10-10?
Ooh, finds one. Relay bolt into the corner of the fast lane, gonna be set up, the overdrive pops, he's able to slide away, gets himself in towards Alley. Buying time for Clues to strike on the flank. Sliding forward, finds the first! This is all on Divide! Goes for the reload, the heal, ticking away, pushing him further and further, but Clues gets it done! To defuse in the victory, theirs! Zeta Division have done the impossible! They get the 2-0 victory over Paper Rex!
The best we have seen from Zeta Division in a very long time. And this is a tremendous effort. I mean, they had good plans today, but it's the individual skill that really shone through. Clues playing out of his mind all day. Depp and Sugar Zero just back to their old selves. What a pleasant surprise. What a treat for Zeta.
It's a treat, but it's bittersweet. Zeta Division finding the right formula, finding their groove. It's a monumental victory. But you just had to wish that this was something that could have come up a little bit sooner.
Yeah. It's these things that you see at the end of each stage with Zeta where you're like, you have hope. You come into this stage 2 after the end of stage 1 believing.
Well, that is all the same a monumental victory here. Zeta Division doing what nobody thought that they could. The curse is striking off the predictions, perhaps. Either way, the players played out of their damn minds. A very well-earned victory to them. Commiserations to Paper X, who will be looking to bounce back as they still have to try to secure that first place spot. That being said, though, I am looking forward to this winner's interview because I'm sure that they have a lot to say, and I'm sure there's going to be a hell of a lot of good feelings on the side of Zeta Division. So we'll send it down to Bella.
헬로, 안녕하세요. 승리 축하드립니다. 안녕하세요. 안녕하세요. 헬로, 클루즈. 안녕하세요. 제타 디비전의 클루즈 선수 인터뷰 만나보겠습니다. 승리 축하드립니다. Hi guys, it's Bella. I'm standing with Zeta Division's Clues and our translator Toyo. You cut your loss streak and you stopped the unstoppable Paper X train. How is it taking a clean 2-0 win today against Paper X? 연패의 고리를 끊어내고 멈추지 않을 것 같았던 페이퍼 X의 트레인까지 멈추며 오늘 시원하게 2-0 승리를 가져가셨습니다. 오늘 경기 소감부터 한번 들어보겠습니다.
かなり厳しい状況の中からの 2-0 でのペーパーレックス相手に勝利、今日の試合の感想を教えてください。
はい、今日本当にプレーオフは逃しちゃったんですけども、この試合は絶対勝ちたいと思って臨んで勝ててホッとしてます。
플레이오프 못 가게 된 건 엄청 아쉽지만 그래도 이번에 페이퍼렉스 전에서 이길 수 있었던 게 엄청 기쁘습니다.
Well, it is a bummer that we don't get to play in the playoffs, but I think today's win was extra meaningful because it was against Paper X. And right, Paper X has been unstoppable, especially on their Lotus. But the way that Zeta Division played out today, you guys were prepared. So I want to ask about what was the things that you mainly focused on prepping for Lotus against Paper X. 연승가도 주역인 페이퍼렉스의 로터스 그리고 오늘 제타 디비전이 로터스를 열어두고 왜 선...
Oh my god, it's windy.
关键还是看视野布置啊。现在滔博可能下河道会有一点，就进入河道会有点困难，可能会堵在河道口。回藏地暂时去分带一下上路的兵线，炸弹人去跟他对位。巨魔的柱子在团战的过程中会比较讨厌，每一次都会很大的限制。
Trio. Elk has
shout out to Elk, yeah.
Elk has been super impressive in this game as well. But it's not over yet. We're back to this mid lane sort of dance, but that's worse for top esports because their lanes have gotten even longer than before they have to respond to. We're starting to see the desperation of TS. They know that Infernal might be their last win con.
At least without a zero turret, they can guarantee they can kind of play through mid. They have some coverage for BLG. There's a trap that if Bin steps on could be good information that's much needed for top esports because yeah, their next step is to try and make some progress here. Oh, that's an early engage. I am surprised about that one from Bin.
All right,
Don't think that was exactly worth it.
We're get another fight where now all these ults are getting pristine like they were earlier. They're going to jump Solar Flare, Chains of Corruption a lot onto On, but Cream goes over the wall without help. Eats a Dredge Line, has to go into the Stasis. Kanavi as well.
Doesn't matter.
There's no help coming for them. They jumped in too early, and now they got to bite the bullet. And the bullet is Knight running wild. Gets the triple kill. Elk shuts down Jackie Love. Down goes Top Esports. BLG are going to go up 1-0 with their super scaler of a comp.
I just watched Brother Cream, EQ, get exhausted and get one shot, as that's going to be the end of the game. BLG. The scaling of the carries, the range of it pays off, and an impressive game from Bin, Knight, and Elk as they managed to carry their team to a pretty convincing victory against Top Esports.
I'm going to commit a cardinal sin here while we got time as the Nexus goes down. Oh, they took away the scoreboard. All right. I was going to do some math.
They have to throw it back up. They have to throw it back up.
I was curious. I wanted to commit to some math to show how great that scoreline is. They win. I think so 20 plus kills, 2 deaths, and 30 plus assists between Bin, Knight, and Elk.
That's pretty good. That's a pretty good trio there. One might say that trio could win a NBA title, you know, in a past era. Gonna put up numbers like that.
Which one's unfortunately the Bosch is my question.
Oh, I was thinking about the Celtics 3. And Elk is definitely Bosch. There's no question about that. Elk is Bosch.
I can't believe you went for the Celtics big 3 before the Heat big 3.
I mean, honestly, you're probably right, because we could say that Knight is LeBron, because, you know, he keeps on changing out his jungler, aka his team. So it's like lay GM is Knight.
And then
that fits.
Bin, we just saw, played 400 games with On. Bin's Dwayne Wade because he's the most loyal to the organization.
Yeah, and On is Udonis Haslam, so it's fine. We took this way too far. Solid game there from BLG.
Yeah. This new Elk mid pick, I really think is going to take waves as this Azir answer, because we have a lot of good Azir teams or mid laners that play Azir well. I don't know. I'm enjoying how BLG are creating their own identity this split with this Ziggs and Shadows champ pool.
I do think that one perk for like this Knight versus Cream matchup is Knight, for me, has always been the LPL mid laner that has played every and all mages really well.
Yes.
I think that's been a struggle for Cream. We know Cream for the Sylas, the Akali, the Tristana, the Yone, and kind of the Azir, but his mage play is just kind of meh. Whereas Knight's mage play, I mean, you think of Knight's Orianna, the Syndra, like these are fantastic, well-known picks for Knight. So for me, like, I think that seeing him bust out the Ziggs and now go 2-0 on it in this matchup, it has been a pretty good look. And again, I think that there is a lot of value for this pick versus the Azir. And it has been nice to see some player, I say some player, not just some player, like the mid laner in LPL, pick this with confidence and play it very well.
And looking even further, like what's around the Ziggs, and I kind of talked about it a bit when we saw this draft come through, how they played against Weibo. It's another patient early game from BLG where they punish the enemy team for indexing early and then kind of panicking when they're not super ahead. We're going to see that in this replay. You know, we talk about the two big mistakes, right? Could be the bottom lane teleport play, and then like I think it was the first big mid lane fight. But what BLG does so well with this comp is they have solo wave states that are positive for them, a bot lane that's able to, you know, go even in tempo. Shadow, you know, got a little bit caught running around the jungle.
I still want to know what happened with that play, by the way. You can't tell me that Elk didn't squeeze between the soldiers there at all. Maybe the Dark Star Jin has cosmic powers, you know?
There you go. But I just love that BLG in Split 2, we got give them such a crutch of having to be such an early game aggressive team for a lot of the year, and now they have this new comp where they play slow and punish their opponents for over-aggression, just like this bot lane fight that really blew the game open in my mind.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, Slayer. This is a squad where... Sorry, I just watched Cream play that fight again. He didn't have any W's up after he R'd in, which is kind of a cardinal sin on Azir. But anyway. I think Top Esports at their best was when Kanavi was able to play with a lot of priority. And they definitely gave that over. I mean, Kanavi's an outstanding Italy player. And Top Esports, again, another team that has really proven that they can play with priority and win games with Kanavi. But yeah, BOG, they took the scaling, they shut that down, and then to see them actually scale into a game and play well enough to get there, that's not something we saw to BOG in Split 2. So I think that's a great call out, Slayer.
I just fanboying over these equalizers too. That was the... You're going to get another... This one too. I mean...
Yeah, it's still a bin pog. I don't care what Elk scoreline was. It is still a bin pog.
I would agree. I also will say I'm not mad if any of the three of them get it. Personally,
it can't be Knight.
Okay, yeah. I mean, my 80
it's got to be Elk or bin.
Give it to Elk because I think
it's got to be Elk or bin.
I mean, these deadly flourish catches are just so pristine too. This fight was head scratching. Like, it's the first time those ults didn't layer correctly, but it was too late.
I think that like in the end, I think Top Esports in this one. Jakuov got caught out pretty bad, but I do think that Top Esports need to take a... They didn't really have a real way to reset. Like sometimes when you are playing the poke fights, it's nice to have a way to not just go one directionally in, but when you have Leona and then Cream sending it the way that he was, you can't really play a malleable fight. And then this one was tough. Yeah, Cream EQ'd in, gets exhausted, gets hooked, and gets DPS by Elk.
And just look, I mean, how does Jakuov...
That Azir looks hard. I mean, look, this game, this is... I saw Varus and Azir given over, and I saw BOG take 2 picks into that and just absolutely destroyed them. I hope that a lot of other people start considering Ziggs mid. I think the way Knight's playing it, it looks really good. I know that there's like a lot of value and proponents for this matchup, Ziggs versus Azir. If you followed LS, as a lot of people have for a long time.
That's not BLG Jr. Come on, guys.
Oh, it's not.
Not to derail you. I thought that was very funny.
No, that is kind of funny. Yeah, BLG Jr. That would be that'd be LG.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
3 out of the 5 members. Yeah. Anyway,
what a headline that would be. Listen. Here's the biggest takeaway, guys. Thanks to Knight. Learn from NA. Shout out APA Ziggs.
Yeah. I mean, hey, they beat Top Esports. BOG's like, why not? All right, thank you, LPL. LPL has been very based about the Pog picks. Definitely more based than LCK, who has to deal with the KEKW and MIDI votes. I'm glad that we get much less of that here in LPL.
I've seen some heinous LPL ones, personally. I think I've already had a
there have been some, but there are very much far in few between, and you just think about them more because there are very few. Someone that, you know, been a part of both. Was on LCK for a split. A lot worse over there. Bin, deserved, Pog. The equalizers, like 3 or 4 equalizers, just picture perfect in that game. As BLG put together a nice game 1 win.
Very, very fun as well to see Bin. The one advantage I think he has over 369 right now in form is that he can play the carries super well, where 369 has done a lot of the tank duty. So showing the carry potential there in his MVP. You can help carry the LPL English unofficial broadcast at home in one awesome way, and that is by supporting us through coffee. So we can, or actually...
We got that, but we also have something new over here that we got to talk to you guys about.
We do have something new.
We got a partnership.
Yeah, we do have a partnership, and I am going to... What's the word I'm looking for here? I am going to...
Chill?
Yeah, I'm going to... Well, Shill will be doing after the break. I'm going to kind of tease you guys. We have a new partnership that we're going to announce, and we're going to talk about that after the break. And there, we will get set for Game 2. Will Top Esports have a response, or are BLG looking to be the best team in the LPL form-wise so far? We'll find out that and more, and our new partnership on the other side of this intermission. All right, I've built up enough anticipation, not for our game 2, but for our exciting new partner here at the LPL English, and that is ProDiff. If you want to play like the pros in your own solo queue games, take the opportunity to learn directly from the pros themselves. Whatever your rank, the best way to start climbing now is to schedule a coaching session at prodiff.gg. You'll work one-on-one with an active or recent player in the NACL, ERLs, or LTA who will teach you to play like a pro. Get personalized coaching for the pros today at prodiff.gg. Use code LPL10 at checkout, you see it below us, to save 10% and support the LPL English broadcast. Cubby, another exciting sponsorship, and I'm excited to see. I know that we're going to get some of the guys at ProDiff to break down some critical LPL clips. Can you think of one from last game that you want to see the breakdown?
Yeah, probably the bin equalizer clip. That might have been one. I actually pulled a really good fight for that, hopefully from Wonjung. On Cassante, I learned yesterday that if Cassante presses R when Skarner is, impaling a group, then the impale actually travels with that, which makes sense in the game. I've just never seen that interaction before, and I watched Zhang move Skarner twice, which actually won a fight for them. So I thought he was a really big part of that series, that win over LNG. He's been playing really good this split, actually, over there in Group Nirvana. So, yeah, that'd be my clip. Very specific, but back to Group Ascend games, Slayer. Yeah. BLG won a convincing game with Knight on Ziggs into Azir. He's 2-0 playing that pick, and it's looked damn good for them.
So now Top Esports gets to shift to the blue side, though, as BLG did utilize that to get that Game 1 win. And I will say, if we're pulling on the historical, or I guess the yearly context of Top Esports in the Rumble stage, the reason they were such Game 3 merchants is because they lost a lot of Game 2s. Sorry to tell you, TES fans. Just saying.
Well, I guess they inversed it now. Right?
Maybe.
Lose game 1. I mean, maybe they're just going to make BLG look like LNG by the end of this. Win game 1 to give false hope, That
would be the worst thing you could ever ask.
I'm sorry to BLG fans.
LNG?
Yeah. I'm sorry to BLG fans for even just implying that. Especially after what was a really nice game 1 from them. I thought they played out their comp identity very well. So a little bit of hindsight in that as we kind of learned how the Jhin Zig scaled throughout that game. Definitely saw it, though, into the Azir, where Cream had a really tough game. And for me, that's where my eyes go for this game, too. Cream just has to play better. I don't care what the matchup is or what Cream's on. I expect Cream to be a better player than that. And he's going to need to be if they want to win this one.
Top Esports, blue side banning Gwen and Talia. Don't see that too often.
I think they want to Mbessa. That just the Renekton ban tells me that it's likely an Mbessa plan for 2-3. And with Rumble and Cassante out of the pool, that is 2 of the better answers to Mbessa that are now off the table. So, curious to see what kind of priority they put on that, or if BLG decides to snipe that one away from them earlier on in this draft. But Renekton ban tells me that's definitely a pick to look out for, or something they could be setting up for.
That's really intriguing because I think the best Mbessa player right now in the LPL is Bin.
Yes, I agree. So the takeaway.
369. I do want to stress that he hasn't played a ton of carry games this split. And in those carry games, he's been fine, I would say. The Aatrox is 1-1. The Gragas, I guess, doesn't really carry. He's just outside the tank sphere is what I want to say. He doesn't have a ton of time on outside tank picks, and he doesn't have a lot of success on those right now. So this is a big call. The TES
opportunity.
Lock in 369 and Mbessa. What does BLG want to turn back with the R1-2? Are they just going to lock up the Lovers duo now?
As critical as I've been at times of On, I've never been critical of his Rakan. He is a good Rakan player. And we've seen On have some decent moments on this champion. Will be his 3rd play on the Rakan for BLG. He is 2-0 through 3 series on the pick himself. So, Lovers duo secured. I got to say, that is quite early. I'm with you, Slayer, because I think Xayah struggles in the range, and I've really seen the rise of, hopefully, a Jinx. I really like the Jinx in the Xayah matchup. I think that range is the answer into this. So wondering if Jaculov can find some of that later on, as it looks like they're going to take that snap engage early on.
Yep.
Mid-jungle duo secured. Going to be some Wukong Annie. That looks good to me.
Good setups for public execution, right? You just want to knock up, stun them up, and let 369 find an angle onto the back line. The Xayah, though, does get a lot more value, I do think, picking it early. You kind of dare them. So now this, Tipper stun, Cyclone. Elks can have a bit of a buffer, and now you get a tanky front line. Bin's going to do a fun little job called stand in front of Ambessa every fight and pray that I catch the public execution.
We'll say that we haven't loved Bin on the Scion. I think it's not really just Bin as a player. Like, I think Bin's Scion as a player is just kind of fine, but he's just spectate. Like, he's a spectator on this champion, right? It's not as good or proactive as some of the other Scions that we've seen. I think that he just kind of does his job. So we'll see. I mean, he's got a Xayah and Elk. See if he can do his job in this one. Definitely into Annie. I think Scion specifically really nerfs Annie as a pick just because Annie cannot deal with Scion at all. It has to be backline hunting for Cream. So important that Top Esports can stay ahead in this game so they keep control over the map and set up angles for this Annie.
We'll have to see. Moving into the second phase of bans, though. You can see Jackie Love's pool get continually pinched. I did want to shout out, I like that Kalista ban. Don't listen to the MSI blurb. Like, Jackie Love has looked really good on this Kalista.
He can still play it.
This year. Yeah, he can still play it. Take away the Lucian, so BLG are just trying to get rid of those aggressive bottom lanes.
Yeah, I think Victor ban here is probably decent. I know it's not. I just think into Annie or Aurora. I'd take away Victor or Aurora here if I'm Top Esports. So, yeah, Victor taken away. Best pick left for Knight, man.
You talked about his mage pool, man. Where does he go now?
I'm wondering if he picks or if Shadow picks, because we're in a unique scenario where you could save R5 for...
Not Vibe. You do this. I don't...
Yeah, I very much prefer Xin Zhao. I think Crescent Guard is very valuable against Annie, Wukong, and Bessa. Just not trying to control the terrain a little bit, and then if you Crescent Guard at a well-timed against Annie, you can sometimes just take away all that burst damage early on, so... Okay, gonna be the Corki and the Rel, so no range option for Jackula, but a lot of that early to mid-game power to try and interact. I think it's fine this game, Slayer.
I think it's better than, I've been pretty critical of Corki angles in a lot of these games. It's better this game than the Corki that I saw, I believe, from Weibo against BLG. But I also really like this Aurora as a, sort of sneaky... This is the flank angle, right? Because you draft the Bin to be the big front line. You're trying to catch all this damage, soak it up with the Xin Zhao, with the Scion. Knight can get crafty with this Between World and really threaten Jackie Love. Because I do think this Corki is in a good position until that Aurora came through. Scarier position to be in.
Yeah, so for me, Corki struggles in games where he can be outranged. I don't think that's necessarily an issue as much in this one.
It's not,
So I know Knight on the Aurora, Annie has control of that matchup. Like, it takes a level or two, but once she gets it, I'm just curious to see if Kanavi is able to invade it all. Because for me, Top Esports, like, I think they kind of get outscaled. It's weird. Like, they have to deal with a Scion later on, but of course you have Ambessa, Wukong in your team. So for me, part of it comes down to better execute, but I think I am worried about Scion later on. I just want to see if they can get any sort of lead early, because the lead with Annie in that early game can be very scary to play against your BLG.
BLG on the precipice of being the only undefeated team left in Group Ascend, and that would start to bring people into the conversation of maybe it's BLG that can win it all in Split 3. Just like Walla Ofis, I do think the Sixers can do it all and win it all this year. That is
trust the process.
Trust the process. The front core of the future will get it home. Just like BLG fans are hoping this Game 2 comp will bring it home and set themselves up for maybe conversations as the best team in the LPL. But Top Esports are in position to answer. It all comes down to the very familiar battle arena you all love, know, and definitely hate in your solo queue games. And in LPL fashion, we'll bring it in with a classic Jaya. Let's see which fan base wins it this time, Cubby.
All right, new theory, Slayer.
Okay.
Fan chants are just red side bias because they know that the blue side is a 60% win rate here in LPL.
Okay.
They're trying to counteract it.
You know what we all... Oh, hold on. All right, I'm not falling for
this.
Yeah, it's not real. It's not real. I want to revisit something we talked about Game 1, Cubby. AI lost to the humans in the voting last time, if you remember.
True. They hated the Ziggs mid.
They did. And boy, were they proven wrong. So AI's not that smart yet, folks. Don't get too scared.
It's definitely not. I have been critical of those graphs for the entirety of it, but Hey, BLG, I thought they had a harder draft to execute last game. They played it really well this time around. A lot simpler when you're playing, you know, Xayah, Rakan, Sion. It's about this front line holding and making sure that your feather rips are big. I do think that top esports do have some ways for their melee engages to play around some of these feather rips.
Gets the flash out of Elk. Can they get enough damage back on the tree? He's going to cleanse the ignite, burn the heal barrier. All these summoners getting dropped. Level 1. Song gets flicked back over Hong. Elk stepping up a little bit too far for this Gatling gun. He's going to take Morano and just give first blood. Head-scratching start to the bot side.
Rel, level 1, very powerful, especially into Rakan. You can see it was a quill start for the Rakan, which is a little bit interesting with Xayah Rakan, because if you go W start, like you have synergy with your kit, right? You can empower Xayah's W as well. Instead, it was... I don't think if that was the right level 1 start from On. I know that it's Elk that died, but if you go Grand Entrance in that, you're at least able to interact a little bit. Or at least buy some space against Jackie Love, but... Ended up looking a little silly for Elk after he had a dominant game 1.
Yeah, I think once you lose both your summoners, trading is kind of off the table for you. So I don't know what's going on here anymore.
007 mission was snuffed out by On.
Oh, that reminds me. I'm trying to remember who was the what was the name of the character in the GoldenEye game that wore the funny hats? Oh, what was his name? Wore the top, like the bowler hat.
I'm sadly not Kangas who would be able to answer this.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
There's a joke in there for that, but we can't fall back into our LNG talking points.
No, we cannot. That's be a disservice to everyone involved. It was a disservice to our eyes earlier. We have a palate cleanser in front of us. We must enjoy it, Slayer, or else morale is down and punishments will resume.
Yeah, that's true. I gotta remember. Punishment shall continue. Let's talk about these jungle paths, though, because I do see that Kanavi is getting a little bit cheeky on this top side.
Already secured the crab. Yeah,
he's ahead of Shadow.
I mean, he's just going to use this prio from Cream and the Annie, I think, to make sure that he gets a super clear. That said, Cream chunked out a little bit. Going to retreat towards the top side, trying to pull Knight up. And Shadow maybe looking to contest the respawn Raptors.
Okay, double knockup on the bot side. Another jungler, like you called out, is going to be close enough to continue this trade.
It's a Raptor, at least posturing.
TP coming through, though, for Cream, and Knight's a little bit lower, so maybe that's
Kanavi was stalling for the TP, as Annie's going to TP back first after Knight forced him out, so good posturing coming out from both of our junglers there. Don't mind it. We'll say that Hong was not able to reset, or has yet to reset, was trying to go for the trap, and On with the early level 4 has managed to keep his resources up pretty high. Actually in decent shape, so this bot lane matchup, despite the kill,
eats a blade caller.
What?
All right, so both of our 80 carries in this matchup with very intriguing positional mistakes.
Not what we're used to seeing in a matchup that features Elk versus Jackie Love. And
now Elk takes a turret shot, and wow, that's Rakan for you.
Oh, okay.
Any other support, he's dead.
Yeah, I thought so too, but does lose the flash. Was a good look from Hong and Kanavi, as that will at least freeze the wave that does help Jackie Love out in the long haul, as that wave stays in front of the turret. So, well, I think it is a small win for top esports, is the fact that the wave's here, and I'm curious what the response is. Do we have the lane swap? Because with the Xayah, Rakan, and the Sion, any swap is a good one. You want Sion in that 1v2. If Sion and Ambessa are each losing resources, that's a world where Sion's a lot happier in. So I like the fact that BLG is looking to set this one up.
I wonder how much the freeze.
Ooh, look out for Bin ult. I think Bin's going to try an R. They're going to try and get a kill here.
All right, better way to step behind the Ambessa, just kill her. I like that strategy more. Here we go. Topple onslaught. No, he doesn't land the slow, and all right, I guess he's just stick around and hover. They get their own freeze going at least. Maybe it's for the freeze.
Yeah, he doesn't want to pull the creeps in because then Sion won't be able to base. Bin was able to base as
What's up with
what is it with
Tibbers?
Tibbers?
Yeah, Tibbers. Yeah, I don't understand. Cream, you never want to be in the same combos with High Chow about anything, buddy.
It was Angel missing, but still.
Awkward.
Yeah.
Just unnecessary shots at High Chow.
You know what, Slayer? I appreciate it. I mean, I didn't know you were trying to appeal to me this much.
Oh no, it looks like Blaze now. Damn it. But no, that's a good point. What is with these? That's what we were talking about. The Tibbers, right, guys? That's what we were talking about.
Yeah, we've seen a couple Tibbers, 2 or 3 Tibbers go sideways today, and that's usually not an ult we're used to seeing go sideways in League of Legends. That said, also not used to seeing our supports landing with our top laners, but Hong using the Spellbook TP to get up top. Support the Ambessa. I still think this benefits Bin on the Scion. Experience gap now in favor of Scion and Corki. Is this the trade we want as top esports? I'm going to blanket say probably not. Because Scion can actually push around the Ambessa if you do get accelerated in terms of levels and items, which it sure seems like Bin is kind of getting to that point now. If this lane stays like this for a while.
Oh, wow. That was just by 369 double fail their pullback. That blade caller. And the bottom lane is out trading a top lane support combo. The junglers are invading each other, by the way. Ult advantage to Kanavi. Shadow still likes his odds because Bin roams over first from the turret. This game is so weird, and somehow Kanavi's going to make this 1v2 work, pick up the kill. Now Jackie Love's here. Bin is not tanky enough to even find this trade kill. The split 2 MVP making the difference, but here comes the golden left hand. 9 over from the mid lane, picks up the first kill. Jackie Love, can he find either one of these trades?
He wants it.
The decimating smash going
He's
forward
got
with the Gatling gun. Knight though goes invisible, and now Jackie Love has to contend with the Bin tank. Pops the barrier, gets the rocket off. Cream finally coming over. He's going to flash over with the stun, but the grasp auto comes through. That's feats of warfare for BLG in a continuously weird game 2.
Yeah, I think the grasp auto was a good call out by Slayer, because I think Jackie Love didn't think he'd go down to an auto attack from Scion. Of course, did have the flash and could have broke vision. Was trying to bait for Annie. Jackie Love, always our min-max player. Unfortunately, not able to max things out there. As I really felt like he could have had Knight. I think there was a window where he had flash and Knight did not.
Yeah, why
I want to check in our spectate, because Jackie Love had flash available through all this. As Kanavi, I mean, the level 6 was the big difference maker here. You called it out as well, Slayer. That helped him get through. And then Knight, I know he has flash on spectate. I don't think he had flash available, though, for this fight on live. I saw the line. I saw it kind of coming back off cooldown.
Well, they're showing
yeah, you can see that he had flash. I mean, again, I'm with the LPL observers. I think they're showing this, and then for the auto, let's see where the auto was at. Yeah, it was a hunt. It was the auto Q. He weaves in a Q as well. Okay, we return, and there's more fighting. Kanavi's dead.
Kanavi's dead. Top, we got to give grubs now.
I want to see how that one happened. No, top can still play this. They have Annie.
Okay, all right, they do have Annie. And Unstoppable Onslaught. Yep, it's a 5-man, so Bin's going to deny.
Cannot play it anymore.
Pick up the grubs. Bin, 1 versus 3, just chilling, man. This guy's got a lot of health. Okay, maybe not that much health. Maybe not that much health, Bin. Okay. So what happened to our clean League of Legends of Game 1? Where did that go?
I don't know.
Oh, it's not over.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Shadow has flash.
Shadow's fine.
Okay.
And Hong misses. Where did my top 2 teams in the LPL go? I want them back. Give them back.
I mean, this is part of the fun of LPL, Slayer. We got some chaos. It's okay. I do think that some of the benefactors of this gonna have to look at Knight and Cream, as both of our mid laners gotten kind of ahead. Gonna have Knight doing a decent job of harassing 369 out of here. Now, I do think that each of these mid laners is kind of their goal, especially if you're Annie, to empower your jungler, open things up for Kanavi. I do want to see if Cream and Kanavi can play together, as we're gonna get a replay. Oh. Okay, yeah, that E from Kanavi was not warranted. Good response from On. Instant alt cast and instant deletion.
Here we go with Ben.
As, yeah, then Ben, sadly, I mean, watching a Scion get deleted, you don't get to watch this every day, so.
Nope.
This is some of the best League of Legends in the world. We just get to watch a Scion be deleted.
That's a tough sell there, Cubby. That's a tough sell. All
well,
right.
I like this play from BLG.
Yep. Oh, good stuff from Cream.
Q comes back quickly if it gets canceled like that.
Oh,
Shadow.
Nice. Gets the knock up. No stun on the Tibbers. That smash doesn't land. When becomes lightning, the red buff burn, and he goes back in. Shadow schmoves, gets him the kill on the top side, and TS do not have an answer. Bot lane trying to go after Knight.
Yeah, I mean, that was quite literally all Shadow. Ben was not able to contribute the way that he wanted to there. As Elk might have to go airborne.
Just dead. All right. Oh.
Okay.
Wow. You gonna take that, Jackie Love, or what's up?
I think if he, like, R-flash autoed, by the way, to get a Sheen proc, he might have gotten Elk there again, but then...
Oh, my God.
Elk could go airborne at any point, doesn't need to, and keeping those feet on the ground, those clicks are, clicks are clean.
I can't can't wait for the LPL Mog edit that's gonna come through from that. I know there'll be one.
Yeah,
they just slow-mo the like really loud techno, and he's just like dodging all these skill shots. Highlight the flash that's up, highlight the ult that's up. It's a classic. It's a banger.
They do like to have fun over there. I think that's how I'd classify their meme edits. Or Mog edits. I like the Mog edits.
All right. Yeah, I'm with the lingo. The hip lingo. That's what we're saying these days. The hip lingo of the next couple seconds here is called Dragon, because that thing is still up. What's with these two teams not wanting to take Dragon until like 13 minutes?
I don't mind fishing around for the buff. I don't think we know the Knight's here, though.
Kanavi is caught again. Trickster slips out, goes back in, double knockup. Like it from Kanavi, but he just doesn't have enough juice to bring home the smoothie. Elk getting jumped on by 369, does get the Blade Caller snare, though, and it's another fight where Kanavi is caught to start.
Yeah, Knight was able to sneak in behind a control ward, gets the Between Worlds down, and Kanavi, I thought the re-engage could have gotten away with it. Was not the case. Was clipped by the E of Knight on his way out. Kanavi falls. Dragon still alive, but that blue buff invade goes to the wayside.
All right, so let's take stock of where everything's at right now, because I think it's critical to point out a Shadow will start up this Dragon. I wonder, how much gold do we think Knight's sitting on? I think
definitely has enough for Leandri's if he does go back, but he doesn't have TP up, so he's going to try and stay strong on the map. Frankly, I don't think this Dragon's BLG's. No. Yeah, because the ults were used there by BLG in the fight, so I think top esports are smart to return to the scene of the crime and watch Cream.
It's fine to give this. They don't need to stick around. Just let On die. This is first Dragon. Okay, here comes Ben.
Atsu coming through.
Side, and gets the knockup, and Hong is traded. Yep.
It connected. Wow, over the wall. I did not see that one coming. Guess what, Drake? That's all BLG's again. Top Esports going to trade this out for some resources on the Ambessa. I still think that returning to the scene was okay. Like, they at least trade 1-for-1 and buy some time and space for Ambessa. They get Bin's TP back up to respond, but well played from Bin. We said that at times on the Scion, just not what BLG needs as a team, or doesn't have as big of an impact as other Scions, and besides that one blip of a fight they took after Grubs, Bin's been good with pressuring the map so far.
He learned from his last Unstoppable Onslaught. Also, a PSA to all you Scion players, if you want to hit your drifts, you have to have watched Tokyo Drift a bit. Just want that on record.
Okay, that's a bit of a reach, but respect. Knight, again, you said hasn't based in a while. They're going to try and go for the dive. Cream. Yep, that's
good
dead.
Setup.
Ooh.
Right. If that one minion, that one pesky caster minion doesn't come up, I think Cream dies to turret.
You know, Knight might have stolen the Ziggs pick from APA. You know what other phrase I've stolen from APA himself that I like that also is very appropriate for that scenario?
What's that?
Flashing air. I fear Knight flashed air. As first brick this fall, in favor of top esports, that does keep feats on the table.
It does. It does also finally give Knight that reset that he probably should have taken earlier. Here's the Leon who's done. Triforce also complete for Jackie Love, as On is going to cancel the dash. Oh, On's Recon, as good as advertised. You called it out, Cubby, and it's finding picks now for BLG.
Yeah, allowed to function in that fight. Is On dancing his way through. Good find for him, and a good setup again from Shadow. And I think the big story is, we have a couple recalls coming out with my fight over Rift, but right before Slayer so far, Shadow's been matching Kanavi. Like, Kanavi is considered one of the premier junglers here in the LPL. It really is him and Tarzan and them, and the powerful junglers we've seen so far this year. Shadow, again, stepping into BLG, has really been getting the best of him between these two games.
The big talking point.
I was not expecting that coming in. I thought this is when Shadow's, his stocks would, start to drop, because you're facing Kanavi, again, a stud jungler. And
knowing what we heard from Knight, that Shadow's taken over so much of the shot calling in a loud voice, just makes this even cooler.
This could be bad for BLG.
Ruin. They do TP in, I believe that's Knight. Okay, Knight's going to cover the turret. Okay. So they're not going to lose the mid-tier 1.
They didn't commit a person to have the Herald hop in, and I don't blame them for that, because I think On could have engaged, but I also thought there was a decent world for top esports to actually look for a turret take. It's given... maybe they're waiting for Cream to have 11 and actually join, as he's going to ding it there, so... They are going to be a little bit bigger now.
The limit's completed for Cream as well, so you get that combat Tibbers value. One other thing I want to point out, it was a talking point with the Scion stuff, right? That Ben has been a really impressive Scion. Up 800 gold over 369's the best of. That is pretty massive, I would say, for the lane state he was in, especially early before the swap came across.
Yeah, I mean, I think that his game impact's been big. I mean, he's currently sitting on 2 items, and 369 has not based in a while, but gonna need to now, because he definitely cannot hold a candle to this Scion. As Hot Soup coming through. Goodbye, Wave.
Hello, team fight. Once again, these bottom lanes are just so bloodthirsty.
369's got a base. We're going to Cream fix the map. I think once Cream fixes this wave, gets a slow push going, it's a maybe.
They should lose mid-tier 1 for that, though.
Yeah, they should.
Like the rotation of BLG, so...
Good call.
Get that mid-tier 1. That opens up a lot more of the map. I also think Ben might be able to get this. So this should be BLG really opening the map up. They're going to knock all these tier 1 turrets off the board. And again, it's this new, slow and more methodical approach from BLG, showing its true colors.
We saw this, though, like, from BLGs of, I'm thinking of years past, right? Yeah. Pretty much from the bin on era. Like, we've seen, like, this, no matter what jungler plays, if they get ahead early, they can play maps out well. I think that the key is just seeing it be a little bit more calculated here. Which, I like what you're saying, but it feels like, again, with Shadow stepping in, the direction's been sound for BLG so far, and if you give players like Bin, like Knight, like Elk good direction, that is why this iteration of BLG has been a perennial Worlds contender. So, again, the Shadow stocks, I mean, we thought that if it were to start to flounder or struggle on any day, it would be here. But so far, they've only gone up from what we've seen so far in this series.
It's wondrous what you can get out of this team when you let Knight and Bin just worry about being Knight and Bin. That is when BLG are at their best, and that is what Shadow has provided as an ailment.
Sure seems like it.
Hurting team from Split 2.
Sure seems like it.
And you know, if BLG, you know, come out with this win, which they're ahead in, you favor the spot they're in at this point in the game a bit. Who can really stop this? There's only one team that could potentially
I cannot believe that we're gonna. It's got to be AL in form, but also the other team would probably be IG, which is crazy to think about.
Yeah, I mean, good luck selling that.
Yeah, well, feet secured for BLG.
That's like trying to sell Samoas to a neighborhood allergic to Pokemon.
We'll see. I mean, I know that IG has really not been able to topple BLG yet, but hey, man, the Shy's giving me hope.
Oh, you sweet summer child.
He has played good the last 2 splits.
No,
he really
has. He has. He's been very good, but
he's giving me hope.
We're forgetting the other 4 members of that team.
That's okay. We're going to see what happens. I mean, it could be just way revenge game, because as a sports fan, you got to respect the revenge games.
You do always have to respect the revenge games. That's a good point. All right, let's take a look at what the scope of this bottom side of the map looks like, though, Cubby, because we do have Otacon spawned down there. A lot of the team's priority. Get a look at the items coming back up pretty soon here as well. Both TPs available to these top laners as they just trade waves, which, again, Ben's got to be happy about, because his top lane tier 1 turret's still up. All right.
Yeah, that matchup can be a little bit different now that Black Cleaver's in possession of 369, but Shadow has also come up here. Ooh.
Oh, the slow chilling smite comes across. 369's just dead here. He can probably execute. Oh, maybe I spoke too soon. And Best has 5 billion dashes. Shadow has to commit his flash. The Mad Lad dash is done. Shadow picks up that kill.
Great play. There's nothing else going on the map right now. BLG is able to play max defense. They get the punish off the Suisaw lane state. It might be mid-out or falling, but I think this is well worth it. BLG should give this and be happy giving it Hong. Okay.
Hong, all right. Gets Cleanse ult out of the Zaya. Hong also chunked pretty low. Like that creative angle out of Hong.
I mean, at least if you're top esports, you can punish a Shadow Flash, you can punish Elk Cleanse being down. I do think that this game, not being very volatile, has in a way hurt them, just given Annie Wukong and how they can really stomp on summoner spells being missing in a very effective way. so at least they have something to play off of now. But these side lanes, like Annie, this is the point of the game where Annie really starts to fall off. Like, you don't win these side lane matchups into Aurora or Sion anymore.
Nope.
If you see Sion, you want to run for the hills immediately.
How much does this game state feel like the spot we were in game 1? The more you talk, the more I feel like we're in the same spot.
I'm kind of concerned. You haven't seen Top Esports pull the trigger fast enough in this game, and now with this one, Kanavi split the choke.
Look at
Hong didn't go in.
Vin is just holding TS completely out of it. They can't walk past him.
Cream
can go for the flash, gets the huge tippers down. Public execution comes across. There's the dive comp. Finally clicks into place for TS. Knight's dipping and dodging around the between worlds, but he's using it defensively to buy space. Kiting back away from 369, gonna flash away over the wall as the blade caller hits on a Jack 11 Cream. It's Cream to the rescue again, just like the last fight from TS, but are they pushing too far forward? Because Bin has a ton of health, setting up Elm to get these blade callers back down. Has to flash over the wall as he does straight 369 out. TS nearly threw away their huge fight window.
They did. They lose one in 369 on pressing that fight forward, but honestly, they took away Knight's flash, Elk's flash, and Bin's flash. I think that's worth losing 369 for. You can reset and try and fight the Dragon or the Otacon, taking 3 flashes away from those members. You can now look for Rel engages, look for Wukong engages, look for Annie engages, and props to Cream. I know that we were very critical of Cream in game 1, and rightfully so, but this is a really nice re-engage that I didn't see coming, and BLG didn't either. As they funnel into the choke, the 3-man combo comes in. On and Shadow get chunked, and 369 able to have a good follow-up in a way that really splits the fight for BLG. And despite the best in terms of Knight's heroics, that rip from Elk wasn't efficient enough. He really ends up playing out a pretty good fight, but he can only be so efficient in the fight because Top Esports took their time in trying to find the collapse around this Xayah. As we return to live, looks like Hong did lose his flash. As Otacon being tapped by BLG. This is a little ambitious. They're trying to get 369's CP out for sure.
All those key ultimates are back up online, though. They're just relying on Bin to hold the front strong.
They can't see the HP.
5K, below 5K, they gotta go. Gotta see if they can find an angle. Kanavi, can he wither his way in? No, the Cyclone Knockup does not get it. Otacon secured, and Knight does execute him. All gets a 3-man charge on the back end of Between Worlds. It's beautifully layered from BLG, but it's 369 trying to rip through the back line, going back to front, but all he finds is a blade caller back to the fountain.
A huge fight from On as the re-engage really trying to come in there from Top Esports, completely stymied by the combo of the Rakan. Locked up 3, they could never walk through the choke. And BLG, by forcing that fight quickly, they really forced an off-kilter fight for Top Esports where they couldn't set up, they couldn't walk through the Scion, and they couldn't get through the Rakan to the choke. It just ended up being a fight where BLG, Elk were able to free fire.
This fight really felt like the benefit of playing Rakan into a low-range comp.
I mean, again, like, BLG is kind of flashless. I'm just surprised that Top Esports were able to find a better engage. I think Hong should have sent it there with Kanavi. Because he's kind of late to stand it, and then they don't, like, he kind of stymies On here. But On played such a beautiful fight between that E back. Kanavi never got a second cast off of his ultimate, and then the flash grand entrance in. Perfection from On's Rakan. As that fight was really difficult for Top Esports because they couldn't get through the choke. And between Bin and On holding it, that was masterfully played by BLG.
Now they can settle back in with Opticon to give them even more benefits in the levels, getting all those petals. They're also on Cloud Soul Point, which you would have liked to see a lot of other Souls. I don't think this is a great game for Cloud for a lot of teams. It's still nice. Not going to discredit the power of a Soul. It's Knight.
Oh, Knight might be dead. Knight might be dead.
Yeah, he might get chased down. He does have his turret to fall back to. This tier 1 turret being up, really just hindering everything they can do there on the top side. Bot side, by the way, picture-in-picture. Bin is going blow for blow with 369. He does have to use the onslaught to get back out, but Shadow completely out of position right in front of Baron.
I mean, they should rip this. They just got Bin's ult. They're going to force On off. What's stopping them from ripping it? Yeah, okay, there we go.
There we go.
There we go. We're line Top Esports. Let's go.
They need this. TES, they've been kind of outclassed in a lot of this series so far. Start the Baron up, but come off it as Tibbers does die and fall off. All right. TS aren't confident pulling the trigger with jungle down. That's a bit head-scratching.
I mean, they can't fix their waves. They can buy some time. So I don't think it's all bad, but yeah, I thought that was a chance for them to really rip it. I mean, you're missing Aurora ult. You could have gotten Knight's TP out for sure. You would have gotten Bin's TP out for sure, and then you could play... Like, if you just do that and you're able to somewhat retreat, I think that you're playing out like a much better setup or world afterwards where Ambessa could actually threaten the side lanes. But by not trying to start that series of events, you give BLG the chance to reset, and the next fight they're going to have, a lot of their flashes are going to be up. Look at the flashes for BLG. Jaculov's going to be the one missing flash for a while, pretty much until that dragon fight starts, and BLG going to have all their flashes up. I like the fact they're looking at this Baron now, because 369 doesn't have TP.
And they're ripping it. Elk is on 3 items, by the way. Gets the LDR done. The scaling difference in these marksmen coming through here for Elk, who's been so good in this series. Does he have another great fight in him? Alongside Knight's flank, there's the charm. On goes in, he gets the 2 backline carries. Again, it's on to the rescue, and Elk to bring the guns. Wiping the floor with BLG, just like that. Nobody left up but Hong and 369 on the other side of the map, and maybe I spoke too soon. All 4 members topside for TES, down and out of the fight.
All right, I know that fight was really bad for Top Esports. I think the real mistake is not hitting the Baron. You have to hit the Baron. Try and get Bin and Knight to actually TP and respond to you, but then you can kind of retake the map afterwards. They opt into such a crappy fight here where, again, Jaculov is flashless. BLG had flashes coming back up. Jaculov having to face check that with 369 being bot with no TP. If you play the last timer where you get the TPs out and you can reset and like play from there, it's a much better world, but instead BLG get the reset for free. They play the Baron and make this fight look way too easy. Again, their conditions, they just got Knight's flash back up. This is such a good time for them to fight given the flash timers. And Jaculov just positioned in such an illegal spot given that he has no flash, given where Konami's at. Hong has a decent attempt to try and peel for him, but it's not even close to hitting, as everyone melts there for Top Esports. And these setups for them, it's not been what we're used to seeing from Top. We're used to seeing quite a bit better play in terms of how they're able to set up these objectives and find these later fights, but I think BOG have been the ones really running all over them.
The macro diff is what's singing through most here for BLG, which is crazy to say for a team that was so much about hands checking. This Knight just using the Aurora to half HP the 2 carries on the TES side. And now On fights another engage, and Elk, my god, cuts through that tanky rail like butter. They do get the stuns down on the Shadow, but he re-engages with the Crescent Guard, forces Cream to flash back over the wall, and look at Bin. He's holding Jaculov under his own turret. It's a triple kill over to Elk, who's been a superstar in this series, but maybe it's just all of Billy Gaming, who are the superstars and potentially your new big bad threat against anyone's legends in Split 3 as they make the final march down to stamp a huge 2-0 to crown themselves the last undefeated team in the LPL Group Ascend.
Going to retreat and take Soul, and no MSI hangover to be had with BLG. Welcome Shadow to the lineup. Welcome BLG to dominance. Top Esports are going to TP, try and fight this. I think it's the only chance or play they have left. Hong with the spellbook. Going to get here in time, but doesn't have a smite available. So, yeah, that spellbook TP for naught. And that Cloud Soul secured for BLG. And man, I mean, what a resounding victory for BLG to just prove that Shadow is not just another jungler, all right? I think this this girlfriend might be here to stay for BLG. This isn't just a jungle flame.
I've seen him smiling still in the player cams. And as long as this guy's smiling and Knight's doing what he does best, deleting whatever mid laner stands in his path. I'll say it. The honeymoon. This is not a honeymoon phase. This is what BLG looks like now if they're all clicking. Oh, here we go.
Oh boy, goodbye Jaculov. Yep.
Sweet Jaculov. Good luck playing low range Corki. That's exactly what happens to you. This is just one final fight to show off all your big damage if you are BLG.
Wow.
And that will do it. The final ace comes through. Welcome in your final undefeated team of Group Ascend. Welcome in your true challengers to the title Anyone's Legend brought in Split 2. It's the new Shadow-led Billy Gaming.
A little mid gap in that series, Slayer. I think a little AD gap, a little team gap overall, as BLG showing that their new addition of Shadow more valuable than the addition of Hong for Top Esports, and proving that they are the team to beat undeniably now in the LPL.
Ooh-wee. Talked about it. No MSI hangover. I'm seeing smiles. Knight smiling. That means the team's smiling.
That's the most important smile. That's the most important thing, Shadow. Make sure your mid laner's smiling there, buddy. I've seen other people in that seat, and I've seen their career paths. You got to smile, and your mid laner's got to smile. That's the best thing you can do to stay in that seat. And to be fair to Shadow, the other best thing you can do is look damn good on the Rift, which Shadow has done with this BLG squad. I mean, this team is playing good.
You said mid gap, AD gap, team jungle gap.
A little bit of jungle gap too. Yeah, a little bit of jungle gap too.
That's our split 2 MVP there, Cubby.
Yeah, well, my split 2 MVP was Knight, so you know, he was the MVP of the series. To be fair, as well.
He was.
Yeah.
Again, we always the thing that's different for me is we always knew that Knight could, you know, gap mid lane. We saw times where, you know, Elk played this well. Bin was just always a rock in the top side. This happened at different sparing points. What I still am just going to campaign that's different about BLG is their approach to games is vastly different than Split 2. It's not the same right now. I think it is just so, you said it best. It is calculated. They are clinical and calculated right now in Split 3.
I think that is, in the past, like, BLG, for me, what has made them a terror is that it felt like whenever they got a lead, they were so efficient in closing out those games. Like, it wasn't just the individuals being sick. Like, that's what got them the lead. It was then, as a team, like, the decisions they made. I thought this was the best Baron team in the world when BLG was at their peak. Like, they would get Baron the way they deploy and just shut down maps, like, with one Baron. It was stupid watching the things they would do. We just haven't really seen that from this squad of late, but man, it feels like with Shadow, some of that calculation's back. Both games were wrapped up very cleanly. It feels like that they have a better idea of how and where to play with their power curves. There's a big thing where, like, in the past BLG, I mean, this team is so good. Sometimes I feel like they really disrespect power curves. There's when and where to fight, and they could get away with it with how talented they are. Now they're getting those things right, and their talent is what has them putting away teams like Top Esports and making it look easy.
And it's just top to bottom, right? In different sort of facets. And the way I want to spotlight that is with Bin. In this series, Bin plays a Pog-worthy Rumble, where he plays, you know, a carry. He's a carry. He gets a lead. He impacts team fights with a ton of damage. The second game, I mean, 369's at best sub. When did we ever see it have any, like, huge motion? That one cream triple tipper stun? Outside of that, I mean, the Scion's what made that in best sub fall pretty silent, at least in the laning phase and mostly beyond.
Yeah, I mean, I think that 369 is the last person I talk about when it comes to Top Esports and this series and this game. I think it was a bit of a stinker series from Jackie Love, sadly. And also Kanavi and Hong. I mean, I thought that there was a real team gap there. And Cream, yeah. And Cream. 369 is the least of my concerns. That was a solid, just 6th day for him. And if I'm the coach, I'm talking to him last.
Yeah.
Or not at all.
I definitely didn't want to... Yeah, I definitely was using that point to discredit 369 more as, like, prop up that Bin is... Well, because...
Not wrong, yeah.
Well, even in, like, the one question for Bin right now is Scion games, and this was, like...
This was a good Scion game.
He had a terrible Scion game in the last series where they lost. Not last series, the last time he played it. This was a much better Scion game.
This was a much better Scion game. Again, I think sometimes with Bin, like, I think he plays Scion okay as a champion, but sometimes just doesn't impact the map enough, or, like, the team doesn't play with it well enough. I thought that he played it really well that game. And, yeah, I mean, another very convincing gold graph. Guys, this was BLG just making it look clean against Top Esports with a 2-0. I love how Knight's playing right now. I know that Knight himself felt like he didn't do enough for this team at MSI in order to lift those trophies or even lift the LPL trophies last split. And the form that Knight's been in so far this season has honestly been pretty terrifying for this split. So, good to see. I hope it continues.
For Top Esports, it is not getting easier from here, Cubby, because they next play, they get about 3 days off, and they next play against AL, who, oh no, sorry, in 2 days they play against AL. So I think a lot of the narrative that just got pushed was about AL in their last series. They wiped JDG, which, yes, you could say some of that is JDG might be the most dysfunctional team right now in the LPL, but also people were like, maybe AL's MSI hangover is over. And now Top Esports have to run into them as AL is looking to climb up the standings that they kind of fell into a hole with already.
I think that's actually a decent barometer for the league, how AL plays in the top, and I just hope the top plays better in that series overall. Because I feel like they were kind of split and kind of flat tonight against BLG. This Otacon call was really good from BLG, and again, I will really stand by at least that Baron never being ripped by Top Esports is what created that really poor, you know, chain of events for them around that Baron. I think that while that looks bad for Top and was well played for BLG, again, not choosing to rip Baron and take away those TPs from Top or from BLG, I mean, led to a fight where your flashes are down, BLG's were up, and I mean, in spite of that, we saw them just absolutely shred this team fight where, again, 369 couldn't join with where he was in the map, which is why I thought Baron needed to be ripped in the last timer. So, no need to look at the replays from there. Game was over after that play, and just another fantastic performance from this BLG team that, man, I think this might start to give LPL fans hope for, you know, not just LPL itself, but maybe some international hopes. If BLG can show up like this with Shadow.
Yep.
I mean, like BLG, it feels like if T1 just didn't exist on the planet, BLG probably would have never changed their roster, never needed to. But that has just been their Achilles heel at some of these international events.
Yeah, that's
it is. What happens with BLG in a world where T1 doesn't exist?
Well, what happens to you? Okay, but can't you say that with like 5 other teams in the world?
Yeah, I mean, that's what happens when you're T1. But I think that T1, especially just given their resurgence in the past few years with this core they had and kind of how that came up in the same time as BLG, the dominance they've had, and I should say BLG's dominance in the LPL, T1's dominance of second place in the LCK in that, you know, time frame. I do think that, like, for me, BLG's path has always been intertwined with T1. Like, I think that for me, a big reason why I would change On is because On is, like, I look at the historically the T1 series, it's Zeus can match Bin and On can't beat Keria. I think that's what's dictated a lot of the history of this, like, that rivalry just in a nutshell, right? And now, I mean, I still feel the same way about On. We definitely saw that from them going up against T1 at MSI, but yeah, this team is giving me more confidence. It feels like BLG, like the way I described them going into MSI was they were the team from the LPL that had the brawn, whereas AL had the brain. It feels like the brawn team is playing with a lot more brain, and it's been a lot happier for BLG. As you're giving the thumbs down, I give a thumbs up over to Knights Aurora. It was fantastic in that game.
Should be on. I think it should be on. I think the 2 biggest fights of the game, he had those amazing recon engages.
He did. That's fair.
The Otacon fight, and then that last Baron fight you're talking about. We can give it a night. But I do think you have valid criticisms of On. Here's what I'll say. This guy does not lose on recon. So keep that in mind for any of the series you see on recon.
Well, he's 3-0 so far.
There you go. The stats back me up. Gotta love when the play-by-play has stats behind it. That doesn't happen too often.
No, it happens. It happens a lot more often with you. Also, Desrex was busting it out on me in the last cat. I was proud. You know, sometimes the numbers, the spreadsheets, the data, it helps us out too. So, good work, Slayer. Well, good work today. It's going to be an early day for us. We did not expect this coming into the day.
You know, I definitely have obligations earlier in my North American day tomorrow.
Yes, you do.
And I was happy to sack them for a 3-game series here.
Yeah.
Not for LNG, by the way. I was not willing to sack it for LNG. But
that's fine.
Series,
that's fair. You have a real job that you got to get to in the day. My current job is I got to go cat sit. So I'm actually driving over to cat sit right after this.
Yeah, that you know, that's
Kitty needs
relaxing.
to be
fed. It'll wind you down. All right, you're talking numbers earlier. Before we get out of here, let's check out the standings numbers so we get an updated look at Group Ascend and Group Nirvana. BLG crawling their way up. If they win their next series, Top Esports drop it against AL, we may have a new king of Group Ascend.
Yeah, technically more wins on the board there for Top Esports, but BLG are the team to beat right now as they made known to everyone else in the group today. And, yeah, I mean, on the flip side, I'm excited for that AL versus Top Esports match. I think that given the loss to BLG, given AL had their first convincing win last night, I think that builds a lot more hype and momentum for that match. And we'll see Tarzan versus Kanavi. Always must-watch League of Legends in my book. So,
and I am very excited that I will be back to bring you guys that series.
I will not. I don't see you guys for a while, so sayonara.
Yeah. It breaks my heart. That's the true loss for me, Cubby, that this series only went 4. Here's your last piece of glaze, is that I only get to go 4 games with my friend Matt here.
That's nice of you, Slayer. At least for folks in the chat, if you made it to this point, thanks so much for at least supporting us, the LPL English broadcast, whether it's watches, follows, subs, or hitting the coffee or anything else, just participating in our product. Thank you.
Speaking of the coffee, I have one more big thank you, and that's to our elite coffee supporters. Aaron Soup, Mong, Forest Without, and owners of a Silmerl. Their pledged financial contributions help level up the broadcast and give back to the cast and crew who strive to give you an English LPL product every single day. Thank you to our elite coffee supporters, and like you heard Cubby mention, all of you that support us on coffee. It really is what keeps the virtual lights on our broadcasts, and helps sweeten the deal for us casters, I guess, say a little bit, as we trudge through some very questionable hours. But it was a blast to trudge through those hours today alongside Cubby and our awesome producer Kai, who was making fun of us for candy bars the entire day. BLG, come away, the big ticket winners here as your new potential big bad in the LPL. They'll be back in a couple of days' time. And don't forget about Group Nirvana, where EDG might just be making a run at some of those lower Group Ascent teams. All that and more trudges on, as we still not have completed our first round robin of Group Ascent. We've barely completed our first round robin of Group Nirvana. And by the end of August, we will have 4 teams to send to 2025 Worlds. That's a long ways away. What's coming up tomorrow? More LPL action. Until then, myself, Cubby, and Kai bid you guys adieu. Take care.
Yeah, I don't know whether this comes off the back of a realization that, well, if I get caught by something, cleanse and barrier really aren't going to do a heck of a lot. I'm pretty much just dead.
Well, I think it's to help him through the lane.
That too. Just to be able to at least remain that much more present on the Rift.
Yeah, it's not realistically a lane where 2v2 kills should be happening. Of course, it's been made a little easier for Team Secret Whales. But Ghost not all that useful for the Lethality Varus, so... does instead just go for the teleport. I think it's the correct decision. I think teleport on AD carry is a little underutilized at times.
Yeah, there only are a handful that do use it at the moment.
Oh, mid lane going well for now, but eventually this harassment from the Annie is not going to result in a whole lot. I think Pun's second game of Renekton now, if I remember correctly. See, winning out his first one up against PSG Talon. Pretty handedly too.
Well, okay, despite how things start for Eddie and Taki. Okay, Pun is bringing the tech.
Yeah, they know where Levy started his jungle clear, so he knows he's completely safe to do this. Not really much Cassandra can do. It buys him a really good recall timer. Pun can't answer because he has to be at his minion wave. If he tries to answer, Pun will get away, and Jay will be left down quite a lot of XP and gold.
Interesting, yeah. So despite how things went for Taki Eddie, they get that early damage onto Elio. Oh, okay.
Auto attack does it. Dire absolutely manhandling Emo last game. This time, even worse so for him as Ares comes in. It's like the big brother coming in.
Absolutely.
How does this even happen? I mean, just auto attacks.
Just great.
Oh, yeah. Oh, this is... Oh, he hits level 4.
Oh,
okay.
Ares.
Okay, that was a a pretty good outplay. That was like max range as well.
That was Giga Brain. Yeah. The RS value already paying off.
Yeah, not happy with just how manhandled Emo
Oh.
got. Libby's here again. Dyer, no flash. Stun's there. Dyer maybe tanky enough to get away, but not if Elio's there as well. That's 2 quick deaths in succession.
Oh, Captain, my Captain. Captain Levi is just something else, man.
Yeah, even Elio, I don't think they get that kill without him flashing in and landing that route. Great opportunistic look for the, I guess the wave state down bot. No threat onto Artemis, so able to look for those things. Team Secret Wales, though, they're not looking to go down without a fight. Flash forward. There is flash still available, but not going to be able to get it off in time. The stun is there. They do manage to find that kill on that top side. Histo, the one to claim the credit.
Yeah. I mean, I think, at least at this stage of the game, Renekton probably wants to be a little more excited, but Jarvan is going to be able to do a decent amount with the gold in this game.
Yeah. Not looking for lane swaps either at this point in time. I think around those grubs you really are for the side of Garm if you want to contest them, wanting to send your bot lane up there, because Renekton at the level 6 mark will just be the strongest champion in this game. Taki coming out, catches an immediate route.
The fade away.
I mean, all the lanes that were going so well last game for Team Secret Wales have just flipped. As this time it's Garm finding themselves nice advantages. Level 6 now for Ares to just the 5 of Dyer.
Yeah, and that's what happens when you get killed in lane twice.
No flash.
They are looking for it, but he is going to have Tibbers in the back pocket. And yeah, I think wisely Histo and Taki backing off here. That was going to be a risky play at the best of times. You don't necessarily have the damage to finish that kill off in time. Without that vision, the knowledge of where Levi might be, it could have been disastrous. So I think it's a smart call, honestly.
Backing out back to his camps. Levi now heading back onto the map, looking towards purchasing that Trinity Force as his first item. The game is not in the worst position. Ultimately, if any of your solo or any of your carries were to be targeted down and taken out twice, Galio is probably the best of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Still will find value regardless.
Yeah, just having that ult means that he's just a CC machine, that's the thing. He should be fine, should be able to stabilize well enough going to the later stages, but those ultimates starting to come online. He's still a little bit slower to the party, but he should be able to pick that up here as he jumps on it. And Kia, he may have died in lane not that long ago, but you wouldn't know it.
Yeah, it's just the nature of the matchup. Pun, much stronger. If there is an all-in where he does get access to the Dominus and looking to battle, whereas Kaya, very tanky as things stand with just the plated steel caps. You're not going to be doing all that much to him.
Leo.
Elio waiting in the wings. Dyer gets it cancelled again, but Phase Rush procs. He might just make it out this time. Heal. Can Elio land that Q? Doesn't even do enough damage. Not quite. Dyer just barely living. But still, that's another wave that's going to be missed by the mid laner for Team Secret Wales as Garm continuously punish this Galio without his flash.
Iris is really putting Dyer to his screws. Taki. Again, I don't know if you necessarily find much. Cataclysm's there for his toe, but Tibbers turn around with Elio there in support. That's a lot of magic damage.
Pun looking aggressively here onto Artemis. No flash though, so wasn't able to keep up as Artemis did have to lose his flash to get away. So it is still a win. Nice by Histo to get out. Cosmic Binding as well connects onto Ares. Still no Renekton in the area. Does make this a little harder for Team Secret Wales to navigate through. Dyer's here though. Histo, it's a clone. Not going to find all that much of it. Still Cataclysm there. Levy's able to get himself one of those Void Grubs. Is backing away, looking to charge up that W. Teleporter, and this is Pun. No ultimate. He used it in the bottom lane. Artemis, on the other hand, Chains of Corruption readily available. He might just pull the trigger immediately onto Pun. He's right in the thick of things. He's going to get absolutely one shot. Down will go the Renekton. Oh, it's a terrible, terrible ultimate for Dyer. He's going to have to try and run away. Looks like he will be able to clear that distance. But unfortunately for Pun, he gets a little bit too aggressive in the bot lane. Uses that Dominus, gets the flash, but unfortunately teleporting in without that Dominus, he's just a sitting duck.
Yeah, I mean, it was happening off screen at the time, and you sit there thinking, well, Kiai's on the top side. Realistically, he should be able to come down and help contribute to the fight. But the entire time, he is scrapping it out with Eddie. And as a result, Eddie can't come in and join. So there's a significant amount of damage lacking for Team Secret Wales in that situation. Yeah. You can see it. They're sitting up there just sort of doing their thing. Levi, he will get himself that Void Grub, but as soon as Eddie starts coming down, the full commit comes out from Kiai. He's on to this Corki, and the HP coming out of both of them is pretty rough, all said and done. And yeah, just the flag and drag missing there onto Levi means that there's no opportunity. Pun's just well deep. Team Secret Wales just too scattered in the team fight to make much of anything of it.
Absolutely, and much the same as Pun going down bot and taking out Artemis's flash. Well, Kiai did the same for Eddie. So Eddie's flash will be on cooldown now. As you said, wasn't able to participate in that instance. So 2 grubs were picked up by Garm. Team Secret Wales at least got 1 for themselves, but now it's Levy who looks to be setting up vision around and possibly starting up the first dragon of the game for Garm.
Dio, we spent all that time hyping him up in game 1, and he is just being punished time and time again.
Artemis no flash. Taki realizes this, and this is one very dead Varus. Taunts it up, Pun's on the back. That is the slice, the dice, the cull, the meek. Elio as well having a flash out. This should be Dragon now picked up for Team Secret Wales.
Yeah, for sure. The beat down on Varus, a classic in the LCP. Immobility, the bane of its existence, and yeah, just the Tempered Fate from Taki, just being able to set that up. And that is a big concern, especially if they don't have the information to know that it's coming their way, if they don't time these fights correctly. Tempered Fate goes down. All of a sudden, Histo, Flag and Dragon, Cataclysm, Hero's Entrance all on top, and then Pun running rampant in the middle. So Garm can't get complacent at all.
Absolutely. And Artemis is just a sitting duck anytime his flash is on cooldown. Of course, it's coming back up in about a minute's time, but still wasn't there for that Dragon, so it is Team Secret Wales who take the lead in terms of that one objective. 1-on-1 apiece in terms of that Monster Slayer. Of course, already the Feats of Warfare picked up for Garm. It would take 2 more objectives and a tower if Team Secret Wales wanted to, whereas Garm just need 1 of.
Oh, it's happening.
Yeah, Artemis again, no flash, found immediately. Histo absolutely annihilating the Varus once more. Next time he will have flash.
Oh, it's season kickoff all over again. And it was literally almost an entire week of just Varus beatdowns. Every time it was picked, it was just, how can we best exploit this bot laner's lack of mobility? He's like, yeah, cool, I've got the distance, let's go.
Yeah, not even needing to use flash, just
yeah.
Mispositioning really out of Artemis, getting way too far up on that mid wave and punished for it, justifiably so. Ah, this is the battle we all want. Renekton Kazante does dodge out of at least the Pathmaker, but nothing's ever going to come of this. Some grass stacks. It's going to be good for the damage stats after the game, of course.
Yeah, it looks pretty okay. Oh. Again.
Yeah. Now Dire is a little bit tankier. Although, he's not tanky enough to tank all of this up. They do hit with that Pot Blossom. He's still living, but Alio alongside Levy will get that job done. Histo here, unfortunately, a little bit too late. No assistance. And Dire falls for the 3rd time. Again, what a fantastic game 1 from him. And Garm aren't letting him have it easy again.
I mean, it's feeling like Team Secret Wales series last week. No, rather, Garm series last week. Emo had a phenomenal game 1, then a really brutally rough game 2. So, either way, it is exploitable. And it just goes to show, tankiness is great and all, but it does not beat the power of friendship.
Is that the lesson we learned?
Especially when your friends have big swords.
Yeah. Does now at least have that Hollowed Radiance, so wave clear a lot easier for him. Should be a lot safer because of that. Artemis as well with flash back up means he actually has some counterplay to do there. Cataclysm, but still, all it takes is 1 Cataclysm and you have an extra 3.5 minutes of exploiting a no-flash Varus.
And who better to do it than Taki? That Tempered Fate, we've already seen its value.
Yeah, no objective down here. I'd be surprised to see a fight actually break out. Although Garm are looking hungry for one.
And I already said vision control being the main aim of the battle, but still a good minute 40 out from next Dragon.
Yeah, always good to set up vision early because you get to set up your vision, use all your wards on that support item, recall, restock it, and then you have wards for the fight that's inevitably going to ensue. Ares manhandling the Croc for the time being.
Not so massive this time around. But yeah, I mean, given that we are 40 seconds out from Herald, you would have thought that would have been where they're looking to execute the vision control. Ares, a little bit too slow to stop the recall or interrupt the tempo there, but Dire going to be taking Pun's place up at the top lane. They're a little bit more comfortable now with the Hollowed Radiance.
Yeah, we'll be fine. And the side of Garm should be, I guess the Rift Shield is up. There is a chance they look for that. I mean, again, it's not necessarily the objective here in the LCP that we prioritize that highly.
Especially, I mean, for Garm with Bard in play. I mean, few champions better at nullifying the Herald than Bard is, and we saw that out of the Trundle even.
Yeah, last game. Herald headbutted a pillar. So it is Garm. They have to set up over it. I think if Team Secret Wales wanted to give it and try and look for a dragon, it would be a reasonable decision to make. As you said, they have that Bard to deny the charge. Tempered Fate lands on a Levy. The collapse is here. Alio waiting. He's going to get locked down. Alio does have the flash with the flag, and Drag's fantastic. And Histo, he's locked down and taken out. A very quick kill onto Alio. Ares teleporting in. Dire and Pun much the same. And that Cassante, not as tanky as he could be. Taken out immediately. Taki takes that mystical journey and immediately flashes on out. Histo doing much the same.
He took the journey. He actually landed the Cosmic Binding onto Artemis and Ares. So that's why there wasn't nearly as much potential for follow-up. And Chaotic scrappy, but it does go the way of Team Secret Wales, gives them a bit of prio.
Yeah, what a follow, what an engage from Histo. Gets the flash out of Alio, follows it up perfectly, of course loses his own in the process, and Artemis importantly retains his. I think the mystical journey at the back end of that fight, really an overstep. Probably didn't need to be given over this Herald, but they get the recalls in, they're going to be able to go down, take the dragon. It's not the Chemtech Soul, so it will be some sort of good dragon.
Yeah, so Alio disguised as Artemis. I don't know whether that, I think it was just they identified that Alio's in a horrendous position. They jump in on him. The Pot Blossom, too little too late there. The TP in is really, really rough for Kiaya because he just ends up getting taunted immediately, finished off by Pun. And yeah, Taki with the fadeaway Cosmic Binding just ensures that there is no chance at a follow-up there from Garm.
To be fair, the only chance of the follow-up was the mystical journey in the first place. But nonetheless, they get out. It will be Garm securing that tower, and with it, the feats of strength. Obviously, the dragon was picked up during that replay for the side of Team Secret Wales, so now leading that 2-0. Mountain Soul will be on the Rift. Alio now a bit of a sitting duck without that flash. Protobal as well, not there for that little bit of safety that it provides. Obviously not really wanting to use that as a safety tool, but
why does Pun feel like he's slightly smaller than he usually is? I don't know, it's a bit weird. For some reason, he just looked like a very, very small Renekton. But either way, Team Secret Wales looking. Oh, Levi.
Levi has no idea what's happening. Tibbers goes wide, does not land with that stun, but everyone is collapsing around. There will be no Dire, there will be no Kiaya if this were to break out, but Team Secret Wales, they are walking away. Tempered Fate connects onto the Annie, but used more as a dissuasion tool than anything else. It allows Pun now to secure this top tower.
That could have been just so disastrous for Garm. Luckily, Ares comes in, drops the Tibbers, and I think it's just the threat more than anything has to be respected there by Team Secret Wales. And
no Bard ult.
Yeah, nothing to stop this tower being smashed really, really hard by a giant purple thing.
Tower should go down. There it is. That frees up the map a lot more for Garm now to set up objectives. It's going to make this dragon control a little bit harder for the side of Team Secret Wales. But look, I know this team and I know them well. They are not going to care about any established vision. They are just going to go in. So far, it has been working out in terms of the fights, but not necessarily the game. It is very, very even.
Yeah, I mean, again, we sort of see that lull heading into this stage of the game around that 20-minute mark. Objectives off the map for the most part. We're a minute odd away from Atakan. Very rarely will you see that taken off the rip. Usually a pretty sizable advantage. The teams that tend to try to find out one way or another how bad that can go.
Yeah, all too common is the Atakan throw. Although we haven't seen one yet, this split, which has been a pleasant surprise.
The world is healing. It seems that the LCP is learning its lesson.
All it took was... No, I'm not going to mention it, actually.
Us to do it on an international stage?
Yes. While having Baron. Oh! Tempered Fate, too late. Levy gets the recall off, gets himself a collector. Collected a Tempered Fate for his mana, or his issues as well. Damn, just slightly late. I don't even necessarily know if it nets them much, really.
No.
Maybe they get the flash, but...
I mean, Histo comes in, you've got the hero's entrance from Dai on top.
Yeah, but Levy also just flashes.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. You get the flash. I think it's the main thing. Okay, they are just going to get pun.
Well, pun, yeah, being punished. Fortunately, I mean, I'm interested to see how he was in a position like that, considering Kaya didn't even use ult, neither did Levy. Something wild happened.
He just walks into it.
Yeah. Going into the classic.
Perma-CC'd.
The classic, oh, Levy might be here. I'm going to go ward into exactly that man sitting in the bush.
Could be worse. There could have been a Blitzcrank.
I actually can't believe how quickly he died, though. Now he has the Steric, so it was a little bit tankier. Still sizably ahead of his laning opponent. Atakan. Pun has teleport, so he can get here. Dyer as well. Actually, Dyer doesn't. He teleported bot, so he can obviously get in there. Once he gets to this mid lane, will be in range. They are aware. Teleport coming in.
He's trying to get... He should just be able to close the distance.
Yeah. Yeah, he will be able to get in there just in the nick of time. Histo going forward, looking for Artemis. The flash to Cataclysm. Can he get in there? Oh, it's so low. The all-out Levy's low as well. The Atakan 1 HP. Levy is able to get it. The captain's call will find its mark, but Team Secret Wales fighting the fight. Artemis, he's a sitting duck once more as Dyer getting retribution from a rough early game. The Atakan throw, I said we hadn't seen it this split, and immediately it happens.
Oh, that's so rough. Yeah, unfortunately, this Galio champion coming screaming in from halfway across him. I mean, to be fair, it started off looking really good for Garm. Elio being able to deny them just absolutely dumpstering in on Artemis, but just the damage coming out. You look at it, Eddie's just wailing away here. Pop Blossom onto 2, but just the damage numbers coming out from Team Secret Wales here. Levi at least confirms it, but they do lose a heck of a lot.
Yeah, everything essentially.
Poor Artemis, man. He's like, oh, guys, look, I'm just trying to get my lunch. Here, just take my money, whatever.
And now, again, they've got a 5-minute timer on not having that Vanish Flash, which makes objectives near on impossible to fight. It's going to be the third dragon of the game for Team Secret Wales. Sole point now for them. I mean, Kaya at least was able to ult Histo out of that Atakan pit to make sure that smite is all but guaranteed, but they do pay a pretty massive price for it.
Absolutely.
Eddie and Pun sitting well ahead of everyone on the side of Garm. Even Dyer now caught up off the back of all these fights going on. Keep in mind, he was at one point just 0-2, maybe even 0-3.
Yeah, no, he was definitely 0-3. He was getting pretty heavily punished. But now all but 100 gold differential in the mid lane. Unfortunately, despite Ara's early success, it has been a bit of a lull period for him.
Yeah, and the Varus has well and truly been punished. It is a little perplexing that all these are mobile champions into what is 3 of the best champs at punishing immobile champions.
I mean, they did first pick the Varus.
Yeah, the Annie was directly picked into the Jarvan, though, as was the Viego. I don't think the Viego's that bad against Jarvan.
I think it was they're probably going to go for Artemis, and then I can just Tibbers, but that has not happened. I mean, it has, but RS has not been in a position, and Artemis has not survived long enough for it to happen.
Now, really, all that Team Secret Wales need to do is buy time. 3 minutes, and Dragon will be available. Honestly, kind of surprised with how slow Team Secret Wales have played during this split. Certainly a far cry from them in both the season kickoff and the mid-season, but it is a pleasant surprise, to say the least.
It almost feels similar to the way that Talent in splits 1 and 2 play, where it's a little bit more reactive. They're more willing to just sit back and wait for their opponent to step out of line and then just crush them under heel. They do alternate between the two quite cleanly at the moment.
For sure. Again, just establishing some form of vision. Still a long way out from that Dragon. The wards will dissipate prior to it. Taki out of wards. Should look for a recall and resupply. First of all, getting some chimmies.
It's crazy to me that it's also not a skin. So we've had Grill Master Brom, Chimichanga, Bud, like it just works.
Oh, Varus has his flash now. A new leash on life.
For all of 10 seconds, and then he gets jumped on anyway. Because that Tempered Fate comes in and the setup's just already there.
Yeah, really, I mean, in this next 2 minutes, yeah, here we
and
go. Yeah, it's landed.
He had flash.
Now Histo's there. Cosmic Binding connects. It's a disaster. But can it be saved from Elio? Absolutely not. Dyer comes scoring in. Elio on the wrong side of the fight. Pun trying to be in the middle. Histo having a flash away. Shut down. Reset going the way of Levy. Can this be managed? Out of it goes Eddie. He is running for the hills. And Garm so much committed onto this. Varus leaves everyone else so vulnerable. No way out really for Dyer. He's going to proc some form of phase rush, and Eddie, he's just chased down. All out as well onto Pun. He's going to get 1 kill for himself, but most likely will go down on the back end to Kaya in that all-out form. Does flash away, and Dyer now here to try and peel for him, and will do so. And in the end, unless Dyer goes down, which he could, no, he loses flash. Somehow turns into a 2v3, but Artemis taken out, and the absolute turnaround that came through from Elio.
Yeah, I mean, Captain Levi at it again. Gets exactly what he's looking for in the form of his though. And again, Artemis has flash here. Burns it after the fact, at which point he is just dead.
And Eddie just having to run. Kaya teleporting in from the back, too threatening on him. And Levy, just so much damage down onto Histo immediately through him, as well as Ares, that gets them that first reset, and that's what their comp's really after. As soon as that reset's online, as soon as Viego's activated, they're able to play these fights, and they're able to do it off a little bit of over-aggression.
Levi just goes and tanks the tower for way too long here. And yeah, that's why he eventually goes down. But, I mean, look, positives, I think, for Garm, proving that even with Artemis being targeted as heavily as he is, they can still take these fights.
Picture-in-picture set up for this Dragon. Keep in mind, Dragon's sole potential here for the side of Team Secret Wales. Kaya looking for Taki. He's torn it up. Dyer's doing a good job of protecting that Bard for now. No flash on Artemis. He is way, way, way out in the bleachers, making sure he's not the original target. Ares, though, doesn't have flash either, and Annie's a sizable portion of their damage. They're looking to turn it on to Pun. Pun, though, he's very tanky and he's very mobile. Gets himself out. Still Dominus used for the exchange of the Chain of Corruption. Ult for ult. This Renekton considerably weaker without his. Ares looking for a sizable chunk onto Taki. Does dodge up a lot of that damage. In comes everyone though. Ares! Oh dear, there's Annie! She's stuck right next to the wall. Taken out. Elio nowhere to go. Pop Blossom will land onto 2, but it's Dyer and Histo. And Histo flag and drag right into the middle of that clump. And absolutely running away with it. It's Kaya doing his best to turn it around. He gets 1, but he's taken out there and after. And while Artemis may survive, Garm won't. It's the Dragon Soul for Team Secret Wales.
Yeah, going from the goddess of the hunt to, well, hunted, honestly. There was nothing he could do. Pun coming in on the top side. Taki was hunting for him. But that was a pure target on Artemis's back. The piercing arrow. No, smite comes through. He does stop the recalls, but that is all he gets out of that fight.
Yeah, unfortunately, Ares, he finds Taki. Taki's very tanky on the Bard. Has that support shield. Heals as well to make sure he's not taken too low. Lands the Cosmic Binding, and then it's all on. You mess with the boys, and they're all coming collapsing in. Ares nothing to do, just stuck in the worst of positions. Alio in that Cataclysm, having to pop that Pop Blossom, but unfortunately for him, doesn't really land onto anyone all that important. No resets coming through means the team fight is wholly unplayable.
And you think about it, so it would have been about 30 seconds before this clip. Artemis drops the Chains of Corruption onto Pun in that bot side river brush. It doesn't have it for that team fight. He gets caught by the Tempered Fate there as well. He gets one piercing arrow off through the entirety of that, and then just has to run to keep himself alive.
Now his flash is back.
It was last time.
The timer we were all waiting on. Not that last fight, he had it down.
No, but the last time it was up, he had it, and then he gets caught anyway. The summon agreed, man.
Well, it is just the only way they play these fights is if that flash is up.
Yeah.
So he has to only use it sparingly, but there is so much he has to flash. It's just a very difficult Varus game.
I think the main, it has to be the Tempered Fate. Like, if you see that coming, you just have to flash it, because we've seen the ability to gap close with Histo and die.
Well, in theory, it's the easiest one to walk out of, other than a Histo flashing on your head. So you kind of need to not use it, and he's caught again. Same way as last time. Taki this time will not connect on the Cosmic Binding, so he is able to get out safe. Chain of Corruption lands, but Mikhail's Crucible, fantastic timing.
Yeah. Could have been dicey, but
5 minutes now. Well, more like 4, because I imagine he has Cosmic Insight, but nonetheless, Artemis now without Flash makes this a lot harder for him to play. Tempered Fate won't be too long off cooldown. Level 11 now. They're looking though, they've found him. Artemis has nowhere to go. He's stuck in the Cataclysm. He is absolutely annihilated. Even before he goes down, he's able to find Levy. And that clone has taken the brunt of the damage. Elio and Ares running away. They'll get out, but they'll lose the Baron.
Oh dear. And the worst...
That's why we need to try and save Flash for Cataclysm.
The worst bit is, I'd still rather it be this Varus than a Jhin.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Oh dear. It's a rough game to be a Varus, and I think Team Secret Wales acknowledged that it was probably the easiest point of pressure to exploit on the Rift as soon as they saw that first pick coming out. It's incredibly immobile. They see the Annie and the Viego as well. They just get complete and utter vindication throughout the remainder of their draft.
Yeah, and honestly, just...
You look at it, wasn't even a flash from Histo.
The Tempered Fates are just so well positioned here for Taki. But yeah, Levy gets knocked up. Eddie's able to just completely one-shot him, by the way, on the backside of this fight. But yeah, Artemis, he got one auto attack off, and that was that. It's a 4v4. Pun absolutely did not need to teleport there, but just in case.
This almost feels like the most unjustified Randuin's game for Pun.
Yeah, I mean, Viego's crit, so...
Yeah, but Eddie is just going to attack him like 3 times, and that's pretty much it.
Well, Pun going to get locked up. You say that. This Randuin's keeping him alive for a long time. Tempered Fate going to lock down no one. But Histo will with that Cataclysm. In comes Dire. Eddie's still not able to find his mark. He goes forward straight into the Pop Blossom, but no damage being returned and so much being output. Kiaya, he's a tank. He might be able to get that Guardian Angel. But Team Secret Wales might be able to get the 2-0 as a double kill comes through from Histo. Ares having a flash away. And with the Baron buff available, all 5 members standing, Ares can do very little to stop this.
Yeah, I mean, it almost feels symbolic for Dai going from Ares just perfectly body blocking him as he tries to dash away to find that kill early on, to just not being able to do a darn thing into this Galio now. And Team Secret Wales, again, proving that they are the regular season team from the VCS.
Elio locked down straight out of base, and unfortunately for Garm, everything today has come up Team Secret Wales. An absolutely clean 2-0 from them. And that man on your screen there, Taki, such a pivotal part of it. Those Bard ults onto the Varus. You really do not want to be using Flash on the Tempered Fate because it's the easiest thing to walk out of, because you can't walk out of the Jarvan ult, but every single time, pinpoint accuracy.
And the worst bit of it all is he was just that close to being able to walk out of it. It was on the heels of the Varus that it connects. And yeah, the follow-up is just so severe. Flag and drag Cataclysm into the hero's entrance. And I mean, look, if you wanted to, there's a Renekton and a Corki that you could add to the party as well, but by that stage it just did not matter at all. And Garm, yeah, justified, I think, realistically, with how good Team Secret Wales are looking. And I suppose, maybe a little bit of vindication for Emo as well, proving that it wasn't necessarily him that was the weak link in the team. It's just Team Secret Wales seem to be the team that in regular season is nigh unstoppable.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the laning phase was admittedly a lot better from Garm in that game too, but I mean, they just had an impossible comp to pull off. You have Ares on the Annie, very vulnerable to her immobility. Obviously, very much the same there for Artemis on the Varus, and even the Viego. If you get CC'd once, you are made of paper, and you are just completely annihilated. And we saw that in that second to last fight there, where he gets hit by a knock-up. Not even intended for him, by the way. It was just Histo trying to locate the Varus. And Eddie one-shots Levy. So
just flags and drags over Levy. That was roadkill there at that stage. His sights were set well past Captain Levi onto the perceived threat, which unfortunately just never manifested into a real threat.
Yeah, absolutely. Taking a look at the damage, I mean, honestly, respectable numbers all around. I'm surprised Varus did that much based on the fact he was just dead so often.
Yeah.
Or very far away from anything happening so he wouldn't be dead.
I mean, a rare occurrence for Garm as well, where they just cannot contest the Dragons at all.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a brilliant game from Team Secret Wales, and again, much to their own play style. It has been a continued refining process throughout the year, and we are starting to see the final form that this Team Secret Wales roster is manifesting itself going into the season finals.
Yeah, and this was the icing on the cake, really. Taki doing a great job of pretty much playing his health bar to the maximum. Even here, just on the back end, stop it. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, he, again, literally clips Artemis by pixels. That's the only damage that Artemis was able to do that fight. He gets one piercing arrow off, doesn't have the Chains of Corruption because he's already used it on Depun not that long ago, and then has to run to keep himself alive.
If this was Cassante last year, he triple kills.
Yeah.
No, I missed that guy. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean,
Taki, very well deserved. What a performance by him. I mean, just so consistent.
He has. He has been just such a standout part of the core team, and there is just seemingly nothing that he cannot play to utilize to bring those victories about for Team Secret Wales.
Yeah, absolutely. But now that means, I believe, Team Secret Wales and CFO
top of the table.
Stand top of the table once again. Very similar to last split. Keep in mind, next week, that they're going head-to-head. It's going to be Team Secret Wales up against CFO. And what an exciting game that is, because really, these are the two young gun rosters of... I mean, it's hard to call CFO the young gun roster, but they have the young gun mid laner.
Yeah.
And Team Secret Wales certainly are the young gun roster. So it's going to be very interesting to see, has Team Secret Wales leveled up from their mid-season to be able to match the pace, the strength of CFO?
Yeah, just the Jarvan Galio combo is just so... It's circle theory. Tempered Fate, Hero's Entrance, Cataclysm. I mean, look, even the Cull and the Meek, I'll give you that. It's all circle theory.
Yeah. Yeah, I think for a lot of these clips, what are that thing you always say about capes? You probably need a...
Heroes, yeah, Edna Mode says there's a reason we don't wear capes because it gets caught in things and that's how heroes die. And it's very much the case for Artemis.
Yeah, I actually can't believe... The fact that every time he saw the Tempered Fate coming in, he would immediately pop the Omus and sprint, and it was just the pinpoint, the pixel accuracy that Taki had on that ability is honestly so impressive. And I think just very blatantly, after a game like this, making a huge claim to be the best Bard in our region. Now this fight actually ends up somehow going poorly. Histo overcommits a little bit too hard here. There's no one to follow up with him immediately, and Ares alongside Levy able to get that reset and follow on through it. And then, unfortunately for Garm, they do much the same at the tower as we might get to see.
Yeah, a little bit too deep there under the tower. Levi, you look at the HP that he has now, well, he's about to die in a couple of seconds. Yeah. Stun comes through, he's tanking the tower the entire time, and he gets a couple of auto attacks, and then Kiaya says, Pun, here you go. This is my captain.
I think the biggest issue is Kiaya needed to be the one tanking tower, and that's not his fault because Levy just went in a little bit too soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that would have been a lot different. I think the game ultimately had a trajectory similar to this just because of how hard it is for Artemis to ever
play the
impact
game.
these fights.
Oh, yeah, not even impact. It's just play the game. You see, he had a target on his forehead the entire time. You look at him. He's just running. Like he's like, yeah, no, okay. I just have no business being in this neighborhood right now. This is not where I belong. I belong somewhere safe, cushy, and not at all as dangerous as it looks. And you look at Levi, invisible. Not even intentional. And Artemis is once again dunked upon.
Yeah, but Levy much the same. I mean, Eddie's damage there just front load all of it into Levy and unfortunately one-shots him. But that's the nature of going the crit build on the Viego, unfortunately. Even here, they actually missed the Tempered Fate for the first time this game, and very much did not matter.
Again, you talk about Ivan having some great voice lines. There is just nothing quite like hearing Jarvan the Fourth screaming Demacia as he jumps onto you and creates an arena around you. But fun fact, off the back of this, Team Secret Wales are technically first because CFO have dropped a game.
Yeah, Garm. They did get a game against CFO, so yeah, technically first, but of course, it's all just decided. It's all just decided next week, regardless. Yep. A quick night tonight. 2-2-0s, Vikings, 2-0ing SHG. I don't think too surprising, but what I will say about that series, especially game one, was SHG did have some pretty impressive macro. They were very, very far behind. They managed to somehow get the first Baron of the game. They were every time that Garm were trying to find, Vikings were trying to find something on one side of the map, they were answering in kind on the other, but eventually Vikings got that one done. And here we do have our standings. I mean, Vikings pretty clearly at the front, and it does feel almost impossible for anyone to catch up next week. They will be up against the Chiefs, which you just have to favor them realistically, and then DFM up against SHG. It has been SHG winning that head-to-head every single time they've met so far in the LCP, so we'll see if they can continue their success in terms of that 1v1. But then on the other side of things is where it is really exciting. Those are our big international competitors, and PSG versus Garm will be the one that starts us off for the week.
Yeah, I mean, the last real chance, I think, that for the Chiefs to at least give us the signs of life that we've been yearning for throughout the year. I think if they lose to Vikings here, I think the hope is the candle wick is starting to burn low. But yeah, Garm versus PSG. It's going to be an interesting one. You look at Talon at the moment, they're not quite living up to the hype that was built around it, but it feels like it's only a matter of time, and the same has always been true for Garm.
Absolutely. A matter of time it is, and that matter of time could be next Saturday. Thank you so much once again for joining us tonight. It's been an exciting game, or exciting night of games rather, and we will catch you on Saturday again next week for those games you just saw.